Making sure those bingies are clean.
They wanted to kick me out of the plane.
Shout out to the Under the Chin podcast with my buddies here.
He's under the chin!
All right. Welcome to episode 18 of the Under the Chin podcast. I am Josh, joined here with Hector. Abe will be coming in shortly. His Uber to the airport taking a little longer than expected. But while we have Hector here, we might as well go over the important parts of the last card. There were only a few of them. The first one I wanted to mention was Reese McKee, Irishman, got his first win in the UFC on, I believe, his fifth attempt. So was 0-4 in the UFC previous in two separate runs. Got his first win by doctor stoppage at the end of the first round, and I don't think I could show the picture on Instagram, but it was a brutal lip split. And yeah, rightful doctor stoppage. Hector, did you send that video that Dana White put on his story of that lip split?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
It looked like
gruesome.
it looked like Robbie Lawler's when he fought Rory McDonald.
Yeah, oh man, that was something about people whose names start with R and their last name starts with Mick. They are good at splitting lips. But yeah, so good good on the Irishman Reese McKee for getting that win, and his Daniel Frunz's lip looked a little bit better once it got stitched back up. But now we go
Yeah,
into what became the talk of the card. We all talked about Torres Finney. We know about him from his Contender Series performances, but he did end up getting a decision win, but set a UFC
yeah,
record, the least amount of significant strikes landed in a decision win in a UFC middleweight bout. Not exactly a record that you want to hold, but
yeah,
yeah, what'd you think of that performance? It was certainly a wrestling match.
yeah. I think he had to do what he had to do to in order to win. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was all his fault. Like he's obviously a boring individual, but man, he's dancing partner, bro. Like he just I'm sorry to say that, but he just sucks. Like your opponent just does that, just fucking get on his knees and goes for a takedown, and you're not able to fucking do something like a fucking knee or something. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but he's a fucking fighter. I'm not the fighter, and I wanted to fucking throw whenever I saw the guy like shooting for a takedown, I was throwing the knee myself, like because the other motherfucker wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're Torres Finney, hey, you made your UFC debut, you gotta win, but the chatter online afterwards is not exactly what you want to see. Did not get an
Yeah,
emphatic performance. And Dana White, I saw a clip making the rounds of him just saying that this ain't gonna work in the UFC, and
yeah.
hopefully he could round it out, get a finish. I mean, he did get two finishes on the Contender Series, so we know he has finishing ability. He is undefeated. Um, yeah, just hoping to see a little more out of him next time, maybe because
Yeah.
you're only as good as your last performance, and hopefully his next performance puts a better taste in everybody's mouth.
Let's be honest, man. He's gonna get destroyed like later, like down his career in the UFC. He's gonna get destroyed. Like there is so much fucking killers in the UFC that doing that, what he did past weekend, he's not gonna fucking make it in the shark infested fucking middleweight division.
Yeah, those kind of performances. I mean, you could imagine any of the top 15 guys. That stuff is not going to
Yeah.
pan out very well.
I
But
mean, bro, like we have plenty of examples, man. Like mm, it's what does it sound like? Like short guy, stocky guy, who's always gonna be shorter than his opponent, and he's comes with a r heavy wrestling approach. DC, bro, DC is a perfect example. he was an Olympic wrestler, and what he did, he got better in the striking. He was out striking fucking John Jones in the second fight
Mm.
until he got knocked the fuck out. But what I'm saying is that yeah, like he understood the fucking mission that he had in front of him. I don't think Torres Finney understands what he's doing there. Like that was fucking frustrating to see.
Yeah, especially with all the hype behind him. You know, he was one of the names on the low key card that I think the matchmakers throw in there. It's like, hey, people are going to tune into this to see this guy. You know, there was a lot of
Yeah,
talk around him and his just the way he looks, the way he is, and we got to see him 3 times on the contender, so people are familiar with him, which is
yeah.
pretty abnormal. But yeah, so hopefully he could right that ship. But speaking of contender series guys, the other guy who came in 10-0 did not win, Louis Guruli. I mean, Abe called this one second round KO by Ode Osborne. Yeah, I know. I forget it. Did you have a pick on that one? Did you? I forget.
I don't think so. I think I left right before that one.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Abe called that one pretty sharply, and I gotta take my punches here. I made a parlay that I put on the screen in the last episode that included Ode Osborne losing, and I even put on the bottom like, "Hey, sorry, Abe, I'm going against you." But Abe ended up being correct on that one, so that was a highlight on a card that was a little thin on them. But you know, you had Lee Chang Ho. He got a second round TKO as well over Cratavius Romeus.
Or Chavius Romeus sounds
Yeah.
like the lost Black Roman emperor.
Yeah, I did see some funny memes about Mr. Romeus. But yeah,
He's good
so
though.
he is
He's
good. Yeah.
good.
Yeah, took
Yeah.
the L, but you know, he did impress from what I remember on the contender series. So yeah, but other than that one, the co-main and the main event, Pat Sabatini gets a decision victory. Philly guy,
Yeah.
shout out. But then the main event, Lerone Murphy looked on point. I mean, Josh Emmett
Yeah.
looked good. You know, it was a good fight for 5 rounds, but you know, Lerone Murphy, he looked like he was dodging and blocking most of the shots thrown his way and landing with regularity. Josh Emmett commented, oh my God, I gotta yawn. Josh Emmett, wow, commented afterwards that he took no damage in terms of like something that's going to need to be rested up before another fight. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, I mean, what did you think of the main event?
It was a good fight. Exactly what I expected. I knew he was not gonna exchange with Emmett. Why? If you got all the tools to beat him and using your brain and your skills, why go there and take the chance of getting knocked out? I think it was a good win for what's his name? Fuck.
Lerone Murphy.
Murphy. I don't know if that performance did him any favors in talking about the title
Yeah,
contention. But he at the end of the day he won. So one's X for him. Mm, probably the winner of Pitbull and Jay Rodriguez,
that would
I'll
make
say.
sense. That would make sense. I saw a little bit of a record comparison. They were comparing Ilia Topuria and Lerone Murphy's record, or the UFC record. Well, obviously they're both undefeated.
Yeah.
But and Ilya, if I'm not mistaken, got the title shot off of Josh Emmett, correct?
Yeah, he did. He did, but he also 50-42
Right. Yeah.
Emmett.
It
So
was it was a
that's something that you don't see very often, right? So
right.
and and
Yes.
and and I think Emmett won a few rounds, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won two. It was
Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah, I saw that there were a few conflicting reports. I saw a lot of people score at 4-1, some 3-2.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I think overall, It was definitely a win for Lerone Murphy, but yeah, not as
Yeah,
impressive as what Ilya Taporia did. So I think right now Lerone Murphy is probably 1 to 2 fights away from a title. So he is right there in the mix. Hoping to see him get a crack at that, but at the same
yeah.
time, we're man,
But
I'm yawning again.
but imagine, bro, like imagine him getting a title shot before Iblayev,
Yeah.
Movsar. Like even if Movsar it's kind of boring, I'd rather see him fight for the title than seeing Lerone Murphy. Honestly,
Yeah, and what I'm thinking, and we'll get into the championship fight in this particular weight
yeah,
class. Um,
bro. Question. I don't know if I sent it in the group, but it's official. Aaron Pico, it's been signed to the UFC,
yes, yeah,
and I saw reports that he was gonna fight Mobsar.
I saw that
I
too.
don't know if you saw that,
Yep.
but is that probably like a fight in the making, or is it official? Like,
Well, I saw that it was supposed to happen, but then they said that it's not happening, that he is getting signed by the UFC, but he's not fighting Mavsar. So I don't know what the plan is for him. I don't know what the plan is for Mavsar because I mean when you if I go to look at the rankings here, what what could be next for him? Like what?
man, Mobsar has to fight for the title next. Like, yeah, he's not the most exciting fighter out there, but he's winning and he's dominant.
Yeah, and he's ranked number 4 right now. Volkanovski 1, Diego Lopez 3, Max Holloway sandwiched in between at number 2. So, yeah, at number 4, you have to imagine that he but if they were planning on making him fight a newcomer, at least to the UFC, uh, you would think that they're probably going to have him fight one more time before
Yeah.
challenging the winner of the title fight on Saturday. But I just don't know who that would be. I mean, Lerone Murphy just fought, and I don't see, and Yair is fighting this weekend. He's number 5. Brian Ortega, I don't know what he's doing. Um, I mean, maybe Arnold Allen. He's there at number
He
7.
already beat him.
Yeah,
He,
so
he already beat
right.
Arnold Allen. Uh, the only person who makes sense for me to challenge Ibloyev, it will be Max Holloway.
Yeah, yeah,
It will be Max. Uh, but also Max has a really good case if Volk wins the title or Diego.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. It's
yeah.
exciting to be
It
honest.
is.
By the
Yeah.
way, it's always been exciting. But today, like until today, like I feel like that's one of top three. I'll say like probably like top three most exciting divisions.
Oh yeah, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, because
Just
then
be
you could get the what?
just behind women's flyweight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Always excited to see those matchups. Let's see. I mean, we are getting the title fight in a few weeks' time. Manon Firo challenging Valentina Shevchenko. Um,
Uganda.
that's a hard one, but I mean, I want to lean on Valentina, but we know that she's beatable, and we know because of Alexa
Yeah.
Grasso, and we see Manon Firo dominate who's considered the best of the division, namely Erin Blanchfield in her last fight. And who's she taking on? Erin Blanchfield. Isn't she taking on, isn't it Macy Barber? Are they fighting?
I don't know.
I mean, they are 3 and
I
4 in
think
the division. It would make sense, and they are both around the same age.
I thought she was gonna fight what's her name? Mexican?
Grasso?
Brasso.
Let me see here.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
I'm looking it up here. Erin Blanchfield's next fight is against Macy Barber on May 31st.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the only two, so Erin Blanchfield only has 2 losses in her career, one to Tracy Cortez very early in her career in 2019, and more recently to Manon Firo in 2024. So Yeah, Aaron Blanchfield, one of the best of the best. Macy Barber also included in that category. So that'll be a very interesting matchup at women's flyweight. Like the future of the division there being held up. But speaking of the future, let's talk about Saturday. And speaking of women's MMA, we are kicking off the card with Nora Cornole versus Haley Cowan. Uh, do you have anything to say about this matchup?
It will be a good piss break.
Well, yeah, if you need a little bit of an extended time to take a piss, I suppose this is if anybody's late to the party, I guess this is a good way to start it off. Uh, Haley Cowan, Contender Series vet, looking here, looks like she's 0-1 in the UFC. Yeah. Uh, I don't have much to say about that one. But what I do have something to say about is the fight afterwards, which I am so excited for. Trayshawn Gore, the winner, but not like, there's a little bit of, I forget, I mean, I don't watch Tough, but he won, but I think what Brian Battle was supposed to fight for it, but he couldn't, and like Brian Battle ended up winning, like, so their fight, but anyway, Trayshawn Gore, he was what, 4-0? I can't remember what, what was the thing about him?
See,
Because
I
what's
think he
up?
won his last fight.
He did, yeah. He won his last two. Oh yeah, so he won the or hold on, I'm
What's his
looking.
name?
Trayshawn Gore. He was 3-0, lost to Brian Battle, lost to Cody Brundage in his first two UFC fights, but has racked off two wins in a row against Josh Fremd and Antonio Tricoli. But he's taken on Marco Tulio.
Oh
Now we
Lord.
we all know about Marco Tulio, 13-1,
Yeah.
also the boyfriend of Norma Dumont,
He
who
has a lot to fight for.
yes, he does. Certainly does have a lot to fight for. He came off the Contender Series in 2024, fought Ihor Potieria in his UFC debut in January of this year, got a first round finish, knockout, and now is taking on Trayshawn Gore. I think Marco Tulio's taking this one. I think he's got the motivation behind him to really put
Ah,
a stamp on his entry
yeah.
into the UFC.
I'll go with the Gore because
Okay.
he just beat the shit out of Tricoli,
Yeah.
who's what's her name? Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend.
Oh, so wow. Okay, so we have
So yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. So he has a motivation of
Yeah.
beating hot girls' boyfriends. So yeah, I'll go with Gore's.
I love the connection that you just made. You have me second guessing my pick. I am going to stay with Marco Tulio on this one, but very compelling case you laid out there. That is
Oh Lord.
that is something. Following it up at flyweight with Sue Mudaraji versus Mitch Raposo. You know anything about these guys? I mean, the names sound familiar, certainly, but I can't seem
Mm,
to remember anything. I'm looking at Raposo right here. 0-1 on the contender. Had a few fights outside. He lost to Jake Hadley on the contender, so I remember watching that fight. Had some wins outside the UFC, got signed, lost to Andre Lima. So now he's taken on Sumar Daji, who is 3-4 in the UFC, losing his last three to Matt Schnell, Tim Elliott, and Charles Johnson. Yeah, for this one, I just based on that, I'm gonna have to go with Mitch Raposo on this one.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, going 0-3
You
in your
know, you
last.
know what?
Huh.
Lord. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the USA.
Yep, yep. Yeah,
USA all the way.
sorry, Sumar Daji. Can't do it. But yeah, the last fight on the early prelims, this is a matchup that we all want to see. Cedric Dumas, Contender Series guy versus Michelle Oleksiejczuk. He is always entertaining.
Yeah,
In this one, I was excited to see Cedric Dumas take on Zachary Reese. That fight got canceled, and 3 months later, he gets rescheduled to take on Michelle Oleksiejczuk Dumas. 3-2 in the UFC. Oleksiejczuk, he is 7-7, but riding a three-fight losing streak. If we look at that, and I mean, if we look at his last five fights, he's 1-4 in his last five, with losses to Kyle Bahayo, Michelle Pajeda, Kevin Holland, and Shara Bullet Magomedov, with his only win coming over Chidi and Jokawani back in 2023. So it has been quite a while since he has sniffed the win column. And on this one, I don't see it changing. I see Cedric Dumas getting back at it and making that loss streak up to four. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'll take the dumbass.
Okay, right. All right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, in that case, here's a little interesting matchup. We have Darren the Damage Elkins versus Julian Erosa. Erosa, who did he just beat in his last fight? It was an
Oh
impressive
no.
victory. Oh, Christian Rodriguez.
That was
His
his last fight?
it was his last fight in 20 July of
Wow.
2024. Yeah, when he beat C-Rod. I thought there was
Yeah.
something I was like, man, who was that? I remember being
Yeah.
surprised that he won. Yeah, so Julian Erosa coming off of a win over C-Rod in July of 2024 is now taking on Darren Elkins. By the way, Julian Erosa 8-7 in the UFC. Darren Elkins 19-10 in the UFC. So has fought the majority of his career under the banner of the UFC. He is riding a two-fight win streak with his last fight October of 2024 against Danielle Pineda. He did get a fight of the night bonus in that fight, so we know he could throw down. But man,
Yeah, he's just a dog, man.
he is, but a plus 300. Speaking of a dog, a plus 300
Yeah.
underdog against Julian Erosa. Are we erring on the side of the dog here, or are we going with Erosa?
Man. I mean, I don't think Rosa is that special, but man, Darren Elkins, man, the age is catching up to him
Yeah,
because he used to be known for taking a lot of damage. That he's called the damage for a reason, and
mm,
just come back and win. Like, uh, but I don't know, man. Like age, it's not just a number, especially in this sport.
oh yeah.
I'll just go with Erosa.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Darren Elkins, 40 years old, 5 years older than Erosa, who is 35, which at featherweight, is really pushing that
Yeah,
limit. But man, speaking of old dudes, we have the old guard versus the young bucks. With
yeah,
Jim Miller, 41 years old, taking on Chase the Dream Hooper at 25 years old. Man, a 16-year age discrepancy in a mixed martial arts fight. And the craziest part is, it is very difficult to tell who is going to win this fight. Let's
oh
check the
man,
odds here. Let's check the odds. Chase Hooper 7-3 in the UFC with a win over another old dude in his last fight, Clay Guida. So they're just giving him the old legends. But okay, yeah. So it looks like here Chase Hooper a minus. And by the way, these odds are on Tapology. I'm not looking on a sports
yeah,
book right now. But on Tapology, Chase Hooper coming in at a huge minus 700 favorite against Jim Miller. And it makes sense,
yeah,
he's the younger guy. He probably has the sharper jujitsu, but Jim Miller, we know, is very hard to doubt him. I mean, when you look at Jim Miller's last performances, he's in his last four fights, 3-1, only losing to Bobby Green or King Green. Um, but his last win, first round guillotine submission over Damon Jackson. So it is not like Jim Miller is too far past his winning ways. It's not like he's at like a Tony Ferguson status right now. But I mean,
yeah,
man, when you have what is this 30, oh my god, nope, that is what 44 fights in the UFC for Jim Miller?
yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely
Talk about
nuts.
experience, man.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking experience.
Yeah, I mean
He's
that's
a he's a really good guy.
yeah,
Uh,
I like Jim Miller. Got to see him take that win record in Las Vegas back when I
yeah.
went and saw my first card out there.
I would love to see him winning, but man, We saw Chase Hooper beating the shit out of what's his name?
Like
Alpha
Lita.
male. No, no, no. The previous
Oh,
fight.
Vyacheslav Borshov.
Man, and
Yeah.
he outstrike that guy who's I think it's like a kickboxing champion or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That was his bread and butter
Plus,
was the kickboxing.
yeah, plus he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu or something like that. Like he's really good
Yeah.
on the ground. Man, it's just hard to bet against Chase Hooper, man. Plus he's barely like getting like how can I explain this? He's barely getting to his man physique, right?
Right,
Like
right. Yeah, yeah,
we used to
yeah.
see him like really skinny and frail, like a kid. Now he's looking a little beefier, you know?
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely filling out, and at 25 years old, it is a little hold on, I'm sorry, I just got a text from Abe that just distracted me. Looks like Abe is at the airport right now. He said, "Not looking good, hoping as soon as I clear TSA, got to be off the call." Okay, yeah, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of Abe action on
Yeah.
the pod today. And if not, I mean, this is just how I got to do it. I cannot have an episode of this podcast that doesn't at least feature a few seconds of everybody involved, the three of us. So worst comes to worst, we'll get a Snapchat video from Abe to make sure he is on board. But we were talking about Chase Hooper filling out at 25 years old. He's kind of grown up in the UFC. I mean, getting signed in 2019, I believe. Yes. So had his debut December of 2019. He was born in September of 1999, which meant he would have been what, 18 years old? Getting signed at 18 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
he's literally growing up in the UFC, which is a hell of a way to grow up.
Yeah.
Um, but I may have told this story before. We have so many episodes now that it just excites me that I may have told this story before. But when I was out in Las Vegas for UFC X, I ran into Chase Hooper twice. Once at a place that I kind of expected to run into some fighters, which was UFC X, the convention. He wasn't like at a booth or anything, but he was just standing behind this thing, I guess, talking to people. And I went up to him, got a picture with him, which was cool. But then we were walking on the street, and I saw this woman walking, and I recognized her face, and it like struck me
Yeah.
because I'm like, how the hell would I like who would I know out here? Like why does her face look familiar? And then I looked immediately to her right, and there was Chase Hooper, and I realized it was his wife that I recognized from his Instagram. So that was why. And I'm like, hey man, what's up? I doubt he recognized me from our one brief interaction at the convention. But yes, I ran into Chase Hooper two times while I was out in Vegas. So that's my Chase Hooper
Nice.
story. But yeah, seems
He
like
looks like a really cool guy, right?
yeah, yeah. With our brief interaction, he was super cool about taking the picture. Um,
Very
you know,
down to earth.
yeah. I would love to. He's one of those guys. He seems hilarious. He did view my Instagram story the other day. Born to spend money, forced to work. Ain't that the truth? Yeah.
I just came back from Mexico and I have a few cows, fucking horses, donkeys. I got chickens. I'm living the Bryce Mitchell style life and I'm loving it. I think that uh that's what that's what happiness is for me, you know?
Right, right. You wait,
Yeah.
you
Plus,
own animals like that?
yeah,
Where
like
the f
all the animals that I've been posting on my social media,
Uh-huh.
they're all mine. I have counting. I have like it's nine like baby cows
Okay.
and it's like seven big cows
Well,
and I have a few horses and two donkeys.
speaking of animals, we have a real animal joining us right now. Abe, so happy to get him in here. There he is.
But that's a
Hey,
different animal.
Yeah,
That's a
Abe
hey,
party.
is a
That's
completely
a
different
party
animal.
animal.
what about
Yeah.
the donkeys? What about the donkeys? What are we talking about donkeys?
Man, that fucking donkey's an asshole, man. My
Oh, the one you
donkey.
were writing?
It's called, yeah, it's called
Uh,
Pepe. He
Pepe.
made me he made me eat shit.
Wow. Bro,
Cause
it's
yeah,
too small for you to be riding, man. You got to ride a horse.
yeah, I'm too heavy, man. I'm 190 right now. Like I've been like
Damn,
this is the
you're
heaviest
180 the last time I seen you.
this is the heaviest I have been ever in my life. And I feel it. Like I feel like fucking what's his name? What's a fighter? Oh,
Patty?
never. I feel like a heavyweight black guy, short. What's his name? Funny guy.
Eric
Funny,
Lewis?
Fuck. What's his name?
funny,
Eric
short,
Lewis. No, Derek Lewis.
heavyweight.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now.
Good Lord.
I mean, DC comes to mind, but
Nah. Oh, give me one sec. Give me one second.
while Hector's looking that up, Abe, where are you off to this weekend?
Um, um, Hampton, Virginia.
Hampton, Virginia. All right, coming back to the East Coast.
Okay, I got it.
All right, what do we?
Chris Burnett.
Oh, right. Yeah, Chris Barnett. Yes. Oh man.
Uh,
You know, when that guy gets a win, another win in the UFC, that is going to be an explosion. That's going to be the closest
Yeah.
thing we get to like Tony getting a win in terms of like
Yeah.
Tony
fan
Ferguson.
reactions.
He's about to get a win in GFL, baby.
I hope
Uh,
so. I hope so. But
man.
Hector, you mentioned before you were talking about your animals, the farmer lifestyle, and
Yeah.
associating that with Bryce Mitchell. Great segue. One thing I wanted to add is that I remember hearing this, and I live in the middle of cornfields, so I've known a few farmers in my day, and I heard somewhere that farmers are the happiest people on earth. Very hard, very stressful work, as anybody could imagine, but I think it has to have something to do with like there has to be some primal reward system with like providing food because like
Yeah.
that's kind of like the human it's what keeps humanity going so yeah that has to be the thing but yeah
Plus,
Bright
you're always connected to nature, so
yeah
there goes.
and you're like taming nature like you're like
Yeah.
you're controlling it it's a very complicated thing and when I think about it like I on paper Anthony Smith on paper I would never want to be a farmer right I don't think like how do I become a farmer how do I get a farm but like if I was forced to be a
Yeah.
farmer maybe you would really dig it I don't know but Bryce Mitchell, farmer, seems to be pretty content with himself, but Gene Silva, he is just a demon, according to Mr. Mitchell.
Man,
We've talked
let,
about this fight on a
let's
few
not jump.
episodes.
Let's not jump so quick. Let's talk about my boy Abe's girlfriend,
No,
Berna Jandirova.
Ah, right, yes,
Come
yeah,
on, man. How can you forget?
yeah.
Don't disrespect
that's
my
yours,
boy's girl
bro.
like that.
Oh
That's
my
your
God.
girl.
Abe, I'm sorry. No disrespect to your woman. I mean, you guys seem to be past. I mean, is this kind of like a love triangle going on here between you three?
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Yeah.
Man.
damn.
I'm
Well,
too loyal. I'm with Mackenzie Dern.
well, it is very reassuring to see that you two could still remain friends while having a relationship with the same woman. Perfect Amino. What do we got? All right, another sponsorship from Hector. First we have the hydrogen water. Now we got Perfect Amino Vanilla. How are we feeling about those?
I'm doing all the Gary Brecka stuff. So please, Gary Brecka, if you ever see this, hook us up. Hook us
Please.
up.
Yeah, that
Larry
would be
Brecka.
that would
He's
be
gonna
great.
charge us for using his name.
Well, we cannot afford that, Mr. If I have to censor your name out, I will. I could do that. But
We'll be
so yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
be
Yan
fine.
Xiaonan versus Virna Jandiroba for women's strawweight. Well, I know who you guys are going with. But so I guess I'll be the contrarian. Yan Xiaonan in her last fight really impressed against Tabitha Ricci. Did lose the fight previous to Weili Zhang, but or Zhang Weili. But that's gonna happen when you fight her. But yeah, Yan Xiaonan, she's one of the best out there. So's Jandradoba. I mean, I don't know how good she is, the way you guys know, but uh, I guess we will find out. That is how this works.
Yeah.
But a
Let's
real,
go, Jandaroba.
yeah, a real sleeper matchup in the next one. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson.
Oh,
How are we
yeah.
feeling about
Great
that
fight.
one? Abe,
I got Ige.
Hector's got Ige. Abe, what are you thinking about that matchup? What do you see going down? Who do you see winning? We got 5-0, 50K Ige. Okay. And you see him getting that 50K. You saying we're getting a bonus winning performance in this one.
I'd like that for him. Yeah,
Well, the way I see it going down is again, two fights in a row. I'm going to be the contrarian again. I am going to pick Sean Woodson. However, I think Dan Ige still is walking out with 50K because I believe that
fight of the
uh,
night.
if I believe this is a fight of the night contender. Out of all of them, I think this is my top pick for fight of the night. So I think even if Dan Ige does take the L in this one, that he's still walking out with 50K because these guys throw down. But man, Sean Woodson, he just impresses every time he's out there. And he looks unlike any human being I've ever seen before in my entire life. Uh, so yeah, that's where we're at with that one. Um,
On Woodson.
yeah, Sean
What was
Woodson.
his last fight?
I was just looking at it here. His last fight was a win over Fernando Padilla. Before that, a win over Alex
Okay.
Caceres, and before that, a win over Charles Jourdain.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, representing
I
St. Louis.
I just think Ige is a different beast, man.
He really is. I mean, especially taking a fight on 3 hours notice. I mean, he will
Diego
forever
Lopez,
be a
baby.
legend. Yeah, Ige, I'm looking here, coming off of three losses in a row, but to Bryce Mitchell, Diego Lopez, and Lerone Murphy, which are all top guys here.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would not be surprised if Dan Ige wins this fight, but I would be surprised if they don't walk away with fight of the night.
Where are we at right now? We're still in the prelims.
We just finished the prelims. Now we are entering the main card. Sorry if I sound a little nasally today. I am just getting over being sick. This is the first day without any Dayquil. So I might sound a little bit more nasally than usual, but we're here. Unfortunately, we did have the match between Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates pulled from this card
Wait,
as the
what?
res
Oh, we
Oh, you
did. We
didn't?
did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Jeff Neal injury, but Carlos Prates, I mean, hey, before we get into the main card, how about we touch upon that fight? Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates. I mean, are we
God
gifted with a
damn it,
treat
man.
or what?
A banger,
Man, that's a great fight, man. Great fucking fight.
banger. And the cool thing is that they can communicate with each other.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, we gotta respect fucking Gary, man. He takes on just anybody. Like he's
Yeah,
willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
Like that man has some fucking balls of steel, man.
Yeah, yeah. So now Carlos Prates, instead of taking on somebody with hands of steel, he's now taking on somebody with balls of steel. In Ian Gary, you know,
That was good.
Ian Gary,
Lord.
he slipped into the hate train not too long into his career, which I did not like to see. But after taking on Shavkat Rachmanov, even though he lost the fight, gained a lot of respect. I see a lot less Ian Gary hate out there ever since he's done that, and I think this Carlos Prates fight,
Yeah.
win or lose, is going to do the same thing. I mean, because we know Ian Gary's going to bring it. He's not just going to sit on his ass and take a beating. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, excited for that. But then the first fight on the main card of this awesome pay-per-view, we have Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. What are we thinking about this one? This is
Dominic Reyes sleeps.
okay. Hector?
I got Nikita.
Okay, so it looks like I will have to be the deciding factor here, and I am gonna go with Dominic Reyes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a terrible pick.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
well, well, well.
I mean, he's been looking okay
He had a good
Yeah.
last
lately.
fight. Good last fight, but no. It's
Who he fought on his last fight?
Anthony Smith.
was that his
Okay,
last
okay.
fight?
Yeah. Or wait.
Okay,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Before that,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
fought Dustin Jacoby.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, TKO, right?
But you got to
Yes.
remember that his last fight was against an opponent who's literally going to retire after this next fight. So,
Right. Yeah, that was the shell of Anthony Smith that came and showed up on that fight night. Looks like he was dealing with some personal, emotional
yeah.
stuff. So hopefully, I mean, but Anthony Smith, man, in his retirement fight, he is not getting the easy way out. I mean, he's fighting that Chinese dude.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, he's
I I don't think he even beats him on paper. But just one of those things.
yeah, he's not winning that one.
Well, I mean, hey, but if he does it, man, what a way to go out for a guy who fought for a title. And let's not forget, he could have Aljo'd his way into a championship and beating
Right.
John Jones. He could have done that. And but I think gained a lot of respect for not doing that. But
Lionheart, Lionheart.
yes, he does certainly have the heart of a lion. Does not want to win any other way but winning legitimately. Uh
Do we like Aljo now?
I mean, I always liked Aljo. I mean, and I get the dissension. I get, and like even he understands it. He didn't want to win that way, certainly, but uh,
I'll
with,
tell
with
you what, Aljo was walking around without a security guard. Diego Lopez
Yeah.
had a security guard.
I was so hoping that we would get Abe on here to discuss the main event because we all know how Abe feels about Mr. Lopez. Uh,
Dude, I just hate that, dude. Like, hate that.
it really
The man was just sitting there, like, just sitting there. He wasn't busy. He wasn't fighting that weekend. He wasn't doing anything, dude. Chilling there at the bar. And we pull up and they're like, nope. All right, cool, man. I remember that.
well.
It shouldn't be. It was probably bad because my brother thinks the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Literally, we're just standing there like, oh hell no, this is wild. Because we walked up, all cool. We didn't like overdo it. Um, asked him for a picture,
Yeah.
and he like kind of looked at us and like kind of like laughed, and then the security was like,
Well, if there are
yeah,
two things we know that Abe hates, it is Diego Lopez and the fight between Big Onk and Polish Power. Still trying to determine the third thing. Probably Haas would probably be number three. Uh,
100%, 100% number three, yes,
that,
without a
in,
doubt.
in that in that particular order.
is that
It
accurate, Abe?
changes. It changes by week.
Okay, yeah.
Week
Haas
by
could
week,
I
it
could definitely
changes.
see Haas jumping to number one.
Number one. Oh yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Man, if you had Abe in a room with Haas, Diego Lopez, Ankalaev, and Jan Blachowicz, that would be one heck of a crew. Abe would be losing his mind. But speaking of somebody who absolutely has lost their mind, Bryce Mitchell is taking on another person who seems to have lost their mind, Gene Silva, in a matchup of people who are very crazy in very different ways. Um, but at least Gian Silva recognizes that the Earth is spherical, so we could
That's gonna
leave.
be a banger, dude.
It is. It is. That one, man, I don't even know how it goes down. I mean, Bryce Mitchell is the jujitsu specialist, and Gene Silva, the fighting nerd. It's very similar records too. Bryce Mitchell 17-3, John Silva 15-2. So similar amount of experience, but man, that is a hard one to call. I mean, you guys know who I'm
Yeah.
going with. All respect to Bryce Mitchell, but I am on the fighting nerds like nobody else. So I'm all on John Silva. What are you guys thinking in this one?
I'll go with my fellow farmer.
Okay, as he slugs that gallon of really clear plastic Water, man. I've never seen a gallon of
The
water that
best.
clear.
Do you
Gary
guys
Brecka,
have?
Gary
Do you
Brecka
guys
yelling.
have? No, no, no. Do you guys have Mariano's over there in Philly?
Mariano's, no, no.
No. Okay, it's like a really clean store, like
Uh-huh.
organic shit.
Yeah.
And I get this water there. Look, alkaline water.
Okay.
Kroger.
And I just like the taste. The taste is really good. Yeah. Look at the
Yeah.
brand. You probably have it over
Oh,
there.
Kroger. Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
Kroger. I've never been in one. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Uh,
I recommend you guys this water. It just tastes like really, 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 really good.
well, you see, I've always been a spring water person. I went on a streak of like the 9.5 pH, drinking the essential water.
Got to keep the pH balance up, huh?
Well, I'm not too concerned about my pH balance, and I've seen that that
So so the vagina don't stink.
I heard that I Jesus Christ. Uh
Oh
Holy
Lord.
moly. Holy moly. Okay. But yeah, I agree though with the taste of the water is very important because like waters like Dasani and Aquafina, they just taste like shit. But I am a
Yeah.
Deer Park fan. I like Poland Spring too. I like that spring water.
Yeah.
But man, there
Even
must
even PG water is
Oh
okay.
yeah, I like yeah. Abe, do you have a pick? Are you going with Bryce Mitchell or Gian Silva?
This one's really tough.
It
Um,
is.
because like you said, Bryce is really good on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and Gene is really good on the feet. So I can
Yeah.
obviously, you already know what Bryce's game plan is. He's not going to stand and bang with him. Um, what if he puts Gene in one of these? Uh, what do they call it? The twister.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
Lord, I would love to see that, man.
that would be wild, dude. And plus, the fighting nerds, they've been on my Instagram feed. There's been too much of like they're 18-0 or whatever it is. The fighting nerds, like they keep just posting that, bro. Stop posting that. You're just gonna like jinx yourself, and one of those zeros is gonna turn into a one. So I'm going with. Sounded like I was going with Bryce, but I think Bryce gets knocked out.
Ooh.
Let's go, Gene Silva, fighting
Yeah,
nerd.
Yeah.
there's a big possibility, man. I just want to see fucking Gene humble.
You just
I
don't like that he
just,
yells or that he barks.
man, man, no, it's not about that. Like, he just wouldn't shut the fuck up until fucking John Anik told the crew to
Wait
turn
till
his
tomorrow.
fucking mic. They told him to fucking turn his fucking mic off, and he's like, okay, enough, enough.
Yeah,
Like,
wait till tomorrow. There's gonna be another one of
man,
those press conference.
oh Lord,
Hector, you
let's
tuning
go.
into that?
Yeah, I am.
What if he impresses? Are you switching your pick? Or are you sticking with Bryce Mitchell?
No, I want to see Bryce win. I like Bryce.
It is one of those things as well. Like as much as I am a
He's
fan of the
he's just an idiot, but yeah, I like
yeah,
him.
yeah, as much as I am a fan of the fighting nerds, man, if Bryce gets a win, I'm not gonna complain. It'll
Dude, that
be
would be insane, dude. Insane.
yeah. And it's like especially with Bryce, he definitely has fallen out of favor in the public eye as of late. Can't imagine why. But so if he gets a win and silences those doubters, derails one of the hype trains attached to the Fighting Nerds, uh, that'd be big, and it would be bad
Yeah,
for the UFC. This is one of those matchups where it is not hard to determine who Dana and the brass want to win. They want the Fighting Nerds stock to rise, and they want Bryce Mitchell to, get finished so people could see, oh, see the bad guy got finished. So there, he's bad. Shoo him away now. But yeah, so not hard to figure out who the brass wants to win that. But one that is a little bit tougher to think who does the brass want to win this one? Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull.
Let me say
Um,
this. Let me say this before you get into this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That video that I sent the Yair earlier was stupid.
Oh, with him talking
yeah,
about Lopez?
Yeah, stupid. Like How do you? I don't know, dude. He just sounds like a Karen almost.
It does sound a
Uh,
little bit hater-esque.
yeah. Like, what does it matter? Like, Diego moved to Mexico. He's trained in Mexico. He currently lives in Mexico,
Hmm.
so he represents Mexico. I mean, you can't sit there and like try to take that away from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look at Ilya. You know, he
Yeah,
represents both Georgia
yeah,
and Spain.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
you can't trash him. People call him a
yeah,
fake Georgian, um, but it's I don't know. It's almost like you look at like Henry Cejudo. Like everybody hates Henry Cejudo
yeah,
because
indeed.
because he's Mexican and he doesn't claim to be Mexican at all.
Right, right. Yeah, I
No,
did
I
see
mean,
that clip.
I don't think it's about that. I just think it's because he thinks he's the shit and he's not, honestly.
Who, yeah? Oh, Henry?
Yeah, like he thought that it was everybody was gonna fucking ask for him when he retired and be like he felt like the main fucking character and we found out that he was not. And then
Triple
he
C,
came
baby.
back and man, I don't like fucking Henry, man. I just don't like him. He's too fucking cocky and I don't know. The fact that he always makes like any fucking conversation about him, that's what pisses the fuck out of me, man.
Yeah,
I
Fuck
wanted
exactly
Henry.
that.
I wanted to give a shout out another YouTube MMA creator who is hilarious. Goes by the name of Bedtime MMA. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him.
Nope.
No, oh, let me add one thing, please,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please, before we move on. Plus, he was shitting on fucking Brandon Moreno, man. And who does that,
Henry,
man? Yeah, he
what'd he
was
say?
shitting
I
on him.
missed that.
I mean, the whole fucking Pantoja, no,
Oh,
The Figgy situation.
okay.
Like he reached out to Figgy just to train Figgy to beat Moreno,
Right.
and like like he always shit on Moreno and he dis discredit whatever Moreno achieved. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
My hate for Henry is always gonna be there.
yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, you're when he did that, it was just like, why would you? And he's like, yeah, I moved to the U.S. 10 years ago, and I've
Yeah,
been training. Like, what does that
yeah,
even matter, dude?
yeah.
Right.
I don't think it did Jair any favors. Like I think he sounded a little bit
Like,
like a
they're like a
hater,
hater.
like a
Yeah,
It
hater.
did,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
like a
It
hater.
it did sound like very hater-esque.
Like yeah, whatever, whatever. Good. It's still gonna whoop fucking Pitbull's ass.
I
Hector,
can see
I
it
mean
too.
Abe, you
I
think
got
so
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, so I have not watched any of Pitbull's fights. I have known about him for quite a bit because they do post about him on the Instagrams, and you'll hear he's one of those people outside the UFC that gets a lot of media coverage, and has been at it for a very long time. Looking, he is 37 years old. But yeah, the reason why I was it was one of those matchups that I was like curious about in terms of who does the brass want to win this is because they just signed Pitbull, but Yair is a top contender at featherweight. So it's like, who do you think the UFC wants to win that fight? Their new signee or their guy who?
Ah,
I don't think so. I don't think if they
uh,
really cared about that, they wouldn't have paired him against Yair.
Right, right.
yeah, they
Uh,
want to show that
the UFC is a
the
dominant
UFC
brand.
had. Yeah, exactly. There you
Yeah,
go. Like
yeah.
muscle.
Yeah,
One of
it's
these episodes, we should narrow down our top five fighters outside the UFC that we want to go in because I know of a few right off the top that I definitely want to see in there.
I got two.
Okay, let's hear it.
One, Johnny Eblin,
Oh, yes, yeah, would
middleweight.
definitely land on my list too. Yes, without a
yeah, but
doubt.
he's already like 35, isn't he?
I don't think he's that old.
Oh no. Number
I mean,
two, Patchy Mix.
Patchy Mix, yep, yep.
That's it. I
By the
want to
way,
see those two.
Johnny Eblin is 33.
33. Okay.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he really should be in the UFC.
Fucking relentless, man.
Yeah, he is a guy that he did not need to be in the UFC to get put on my radar. So I mean that just goes to show you. Abe, you got
Yeah, I
anybody
mean,
off?
he's one of Joe Rogan's favorite fighters.
Yeah,
That'll tell you something.
yeah. And I know Sean Strickland has mentioned him too before, from what I can
Yeah.
remember, just talking like, that guy arguably could beat anybody in the UFC at middleweight. So, Abe, do you have anybody off the top that you want to see in the UFC?
Um, I think off the top of my head,
Tony
um,
Ferguson.
uh, yeah, why don't we bring Anthony or Sergio Pettis back?
Sergio
Yeah,
Pettis.
you're
Bring him,
right.
Okay.
You're right.
yeah, bring him back to the UFC and see what he does. He's
You're
made a name
right.
for himself. He's been a champion. Bring
How
him
old is
back.
he?
Sergio's he's got to be like 20, late 20s.
Let's see. Sergio. Oh, I hit the wrong Sergio.
Yeah,
31. He's my
good for
Yep,
age.
31.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
close.
perfect. You're
Yeah,
right.
bring him in,
Abe.
dude.
Abe.
Yeah, bring Sergio Pettis back.
If I had to throw two names out there for people that I want to see in the UFC, starting off Luke Riley. You guys know this guy, Cage Warriors guy?
No.
He is the one, he's 25 years old, so he's right in that prime part of your life. Let's see, weight class. He is in, let me see here. Hello, hello. Featherweight.
Yeah.
Right now he's 11 and 0. Just won a fight in March of this year in Cage Warriors, and I've seen a lot of people calling for him to get into the UFC, including himself. So yeah, he is certainly one that I want to see make that transition. I think he'll make a big splash.
Yeah, if he
Uh,
keeps winning, he's suddenly gonna get there because it's known that Cage Warriors and UFC have like a really good relationship
yeah,
in that regard. So yeah,
yeah, and speaking of Cage Warriors, we have one of their more popular fighters of all time in the co-main event.
Betty,
Yeah.
Betty the Betty.
Abe, you still there?
Yeah, so he's
Okay.
walking to the plane right now.
Okay, I just
Can't
wanted to make
see,
sure we didn't lose you.
can't see your beautiful face, man.
There he is. All right.
There you go.
Well, yeah, so one of the most popular fighters to ever grace the yellow gloves of Cage Warriors, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, is taking on Michael Chandler. We have talked about this matchup before. Let's see if anything has changed. Nothing on my part. I am all in on Paddy. I want him to win this fight. I
Yeah,
think he's going to win the fight. He says finish him in the second round. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
Okay.
Uh, Hector, you seem to be in agreement. Aberino, are you going with Chandler or are you going with Paddy the Baddy?
I'm gonna go with. It's gonna surprise a lot of people, and I'm gonna go with Patty the Batty.
Woo! All
I
yeah.
think
right.
It's you're
Chandler's
using your
glass
brain there, man.
chin. Chandler's glass chin gets exposed, and Patty finishes him.
One thing that always impressed me about Paddy is after his debut and he says, Scousers, we don't get knocked out. It's like one of those things where you're setting yourself up where if you do get knocked out, you know that's getting played in a clip, and then immediately followed by you getting knocked out. So, very ballsy move, but I do respect it. And Paddy the Baddy, man, I think Anik said it recently. I don't know if you guys saw, but if Paddy fights for a title, he does not have to win it, but if he fights for a title, he will be a global superstar if he gets a title fight.
I want to see Patty and Armin.
Well, that was they were going back and forth where Armin was like, "Hey, oh, what do we have? Abe is putting on a condom for his flight here. Oh no, it's hand wipes. Okay, making sure those bingies are clean.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
make sure they're clean, son.
That's right. I am a fan of clean hands. I am a chronic hand washer. If you shake my hand, you're shaking a clean hand. I like to keep it clean. Being, I have a lot of Blu-rays. I don't touch my Blu-rays unless my hands are clean. I don't let other
Jeez,
people touch my Blu-rays. I mean,
you're out of your mind.
I might be. I'm very well might be. That is certainly a possibility. But speaking about being out of their mind, we have an out of this world title fight in the fucking main event here. featherweight title fight between one of the all-time greats, Alexander Volkanovski, and one of the fastest rising stars in UFC history in Diego Lopez. Man, this thing has win-win written all over it for the UFC. If
Mhm.
Volk
Yeah.
gets the win, the one of the more beloved champions of all time gets the belt back. Something that Hector many episodes ago, or not Hector, I'm sorry, something that Abe many episodes ago said was an impossibility, but has since changed his tune. And if Diego Lopez wins the belt, I mean that's good for the
Man.
UFC too. Rising star get the championship.
Yeah. I man, Abe is about to get yelled at. I'll tell you
I got
that.
Diego Lopez by KO.
Oh,
Yeah, no. I'm saying that last time I was doing a FaceTime call in the plane, and they wanted to kick me out of the fucking plane. So if we lose Abe, we know why.
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Hey, maybe we could get our first viral clip off the pod of Abe getting thrown off
Oh
of the
Lord,
airplane.
Tracked off. Yeah.
guys, I think Bulk is gonna win. I don't see him getting knocked out in the first rounds, and I think Diego Lopez is going to gas out like he has shown the past.
But he gasses out in round three.
Yeah, he's gonna gas out. Watch.
I think he's going to come smarter, and I think that Volkanovski's chin is gone. So I think he's going to get clipped, and he's
Man,
going to go. That's
I
already
don't think
three KOs back to back to back.
I don't I don't think his chin is gone. It's just that he got hit by a fucking haymaker of a punch by Ilya.
Then he got
That
kicked by Islam, which it kind of
yeah.
like, I don't know, it barely like, I don't want to say it
That-
barely landed, but it was like right off the top of his head.
It definitely wasn't flush, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was enough
Yeah.
to shut the lights
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a hard call. I mean, you have to imagine if the fight lasts only the first two rounds, you see Diego taking it, but if it goes the distance, you have to imagine Volkanovski's going to be taking it. Uh, I've said that before and have been wrong, so what do I know? But man, I love Diego Lopez, but I'm going with Volk. I'm going with Volk on
Yes.
this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Diego has I don't know if Diego has the gas tank to be a champion. Like he get beat his ass in the third round, like on 2 hour notice.
Yeah.
Mobstar beat his ass almost the whole fight. Like I just think he doesn't have the gas tank.
Isn't it funny that the biggest Diego Lopez hater in the world is picking him and we
To
we're
win.
going with Volk. I mean, it is funny. I mean, but it goes to show you that
I'm a realist.
yeah, right. There's a compelling case that Diego Lopez wins this fight, and yeah, I mean, it is a hard pick. Again, one of those win-win situations, not only for the UFC, but for the fans, myself included. If Volk gets the belt back, it'll feel like, all is right in the world. It feels like back, during Volk's legendary run, which I entered the UFC as a fan during that. So, it'll harken me back to that. But man, if Diego Lopez becomes the champ, dream, believe, and make it happen, and he will have done that. So,
Yeah.
uh, and he posts that image of his debut, back when he was a debutant. He said, "You might not know me now, but you'll remember me after this fight." That he was talking about his fight with Movsar Evloev, and we certainly did. Everybody did. So yeah, shout out to Diego Lopez. Um, Now we talked about a few fighters on the card here that are a little crazy. Abe, are you getting kicked off the flight yet?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, just wanted to make sure uh we didn't have any problems there. But there are a lot of crazy fighters on this card, namely Bryce Mitchell and Gian Silva. Both could be described as crazy. So you guys know what we're doing to celebrate all these crazy fighters.
What movie do you have in your hand?
We're going to get crazy. This is a musical from 1983. And if you guys remember in the last episode, we talked about The Caller, starring Malcolm McDowell. This film also stars Malcolm McDowell. Shout out, one of the GOATs. Um, Title aptly named. This is one of the craziest films I've ever seen. It kind of feels like Phantom of the Paradise, but on crack. I mean, it is just so out there. It's funny. It has these hilarious moments. Features some familiar faces. Malcolm McDowell, as I mentioned. Daniel Stern, right? Yeah. He's one of the guys who played one of the Wet Bandits in the Home Alone series. The guy with the curly hair. And I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy who plays the shopkeeper in Keenan and Kel. Hector, you ever watch Keenan and Kel? That would have been your era.
No, bro.
You
Uh,
didn't.
I'm
You didn't.
not. I'm not. I'm not a big TV
Movie guy.
watcher, movie watcher, whatever.
Well, yeah. So the guy from Keenan and Kel, Keenan's boss, he was in this movie, which was funny to see. But yeah, super crazy, very underrated, very obscure film. But shout out to Kino Lorber for this beautiful slipcover edition of the film. Definitely worth checking out if you like musicals. But yeah, that's uh that's
I'm
about it
gonna
for
go get
that.
my kid.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
well,
go get my kid. I'm here. I'm scared. I'm
okay.
still with you guys. Guys, I'm gonna have to.
All right. Hector, it's been a pleasure as always. We will see you when we see you.
You got a promotion. Look at
Hello. Hey, we got a
that.
stripe.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. We're gonna have to
Hector,
go.
enjoy it, brother. See you
Thank you,
around.
guys.
I gotta go too, but she's staying
All
right
right.
there.
All right. Abe is about to get in trouble on the plane, so he has to Oh, hello. What's up, lady? You getting her snap?
What? Come
What do you
on,
mean?
man.
What do you mean what, dude?
Everybody get me kicked off the plane, man.
No, go ask her. Just
No, dude.
why not?
I was born. As a glass of brandy.
Well, uh where are you going again in Virginia?
Hampton.
Hampton, Virginia. Man, I don't think I ever heard of that place.
That's all right.
Oh, you know what? You know what's funny? One thing I wanted to bring up to you, that Estela Nunez,
Mhm.
you know, there's a case to be made that she may be the worst fighter in UFC history. I don't know if I don't know if you saw that.
I did see something like that.
She is 0-5 in the UFC, all against unranked uh opponents.
I did see that,
Ariane Carnelosi, Sam Hughes, Yasmin Haragi, Victoria Dudakova, and Loma Lookboonmee. She came into the UFC with a 6-1 record and currently has a 6-6 record right now. Yeah, so very good case that she may be the worst fighter to ever enter the UFC octagon. Guess who just texted me?
yeah. Haas.
Yes, we're playing filler right now. You ever play filler?
Mm-mm.
We got to start playing iMessage games.
Sure, we can play pool.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll play pool. You know what is one game I'm undefeated in iMessage games?
What? Pong?
No, archery.
No, that's probably why, because nobody plays there.
Well, I mean, what can I say? People have gotten close, but I am undefeated. You could try if you want.
I'm gonna run 20 these days.
You'd be making history if you beat me. I mean, as much as that's worth, you would be making history.
Hey, that game, it's not fair.
Well, hey, you just got to get better. And maybe one day you'll be able to challenge the champion.
Can't
I
remember the
have,
last time.
funny enough, I've only ever fired a bow and arrow a handful of times in my life, and the only thing I ever shot with a bow and arrow was a fish.
Well, now you're gonna have PETA coming after us, so
What'd you say? It was a little fuzzy.
you're gonna have PETA coming after us.
PETA, like Lois's husband?
You know, what's it?
That's right. That's right. Uh, are you a South Park or Family Guy person?
and I don't like South Park.
You don't like South Park? Why don't you, how could you not like South Park?
I don't really watch like stuff like that. I don't really watch TV to be honest. I just watch the Cubs games and that's it.
Well, yeah, that is how it goes. Well, anything to add before we wrap it up here, before you take off to Hampton, Virginia?
A good episode, man. We should get on this. We should film all three of us together more often.
Yeah, yeah, we should. One of these days I want to change up my background. I want to head outside when we could do it. We'd have to do it early on a nice day where I could be outside. Uh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully next week. Yeah, hopefully next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Sure.
hopefully. The earlier we record in the week, the better. I mean, Wednesday is really the cutoff for it being not too bad because then I have Thursday and Friday to edit the video. But I'm gonna it's right now it's a little after 7 p.m. here in Pennsylvania. So and you're gonna be losing an hour coming over to my time zone. So yeah, I got a few hours to edit, get cracking on it, and see how it works. But
Well, yeah, we look forward to the press conference tomorrow, and we'll keep chatting through DMs. And yeah, man, it'll be a fun one.
yeah, one of these days I should start taking notes. I used to do that, and then I just didn't because I don't know because I don't know why I don't do that. But hopefully by the time we record next week, I'll be a little less nasally, and we'll have a little bit of a real sit down, and maybe I'll even be able to go outside. I don't know if it's supposed to be nice next week.
Sounds good, man.
It does not look. Maybe. Hey, if we could record Monday next week, we'll really be in good shape.
TBD. Yeah, I land on Monday, and I can go golfing. So when I get home,
Well, I think that about does it. I think we clocked in what we have to here, and that's that.
good, man. Good. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna get off this call, man. This is gonna take off here shortly.
Alrighty. Well, we will see you next time.
See you guys.
Okay, so I figured out one thing I wanted to go over here is if you are a Blu-ray collector, you probably know about this. If not, you may have no idea. But sometimes you'll purchase Blu-rays that are region coded, and this doesn't always affect the playability. Sometimes I mean I've had Blu-rays that say region B explicitly on it, and they still work. But I got this box set not too long ago. This is from Powerhouse Films, specifically on their Indicator label. Universal Noir #1, which features The Web, Larceny, Kiss the Blood Off My Hands, which has Burt Lancaster in it. Abandoned, Deported, and Naked Alibi, which features Sterling Hayden. Dope actor from Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. All of these coming in their own little slipcover with what looks like a little booklet here. Born of violence, bred of desperation. Yeah, one of six. Well, it's number 836 of 6,000. So it is a limited release box set. The only problem is it is Region B, and I can't watch it. Last night, I went to watch Kiss the Blood Off My Hands because I wanted to watch a Burt Lancaster film. By the way, this does come off to just make this cool little box set art here. But yeah, I put it in and it said the rights holder had this region coded and it won't work. So the only way for me to watch any of these is to get a Region B Blu-ray player, which isn't really on the short list of things that I want to buy. Uh, but at least it looks cool. At least I have these movies. It's one of those things where now it just looks cool on my shelf. Just that spine there. But yeah, pretty upsetting. Was really looking forward to watching all of these movies. More specifically, Kiss the Blood Off My Hands and Naked Alibi. But yeah, not gonna happen. But that does happen. The whole Region B thing. Yeah, it's a real shame. But I ended up watching. What did I watch? Oh, it was called the Late Great Planet Earth. It was a evangelical Christian documentary about the prediction of Armageddon, narrated by Orson Welles of all people. It was from 1979. It was such a bizarre movie, very obscure. When I logged it on Letterboxd, it was only like 200 some people have logged it, so incredibly obscure. But yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't show you guys the parlay. So if you sticked around, listen to me, I'm losing it. If you stuck around this long, first off, thank you. I mean, because I mean, if you made me talking about some random box set if you came here for an MMA podcast, I mean, wow. Yeah. If you made it this far, congratulations. Here's a parlay that's not going to hit. I made this after recording the video, but man, if you want to take it, I won't be. It's just what I put together of what I think is gonna happen. But man, I parlays they are hard to hit. Their odds are very enticing for a reason. It's because they don't hit. So yeah, it's been on screen for a little bit. Put it together. So yeah, that's your reward for sticking by for this incredibly lackluster ending to a podcast. I hope that at least the substance that was in the first part made up for this. Yeah, I got some stuff to figure out. I hope I do. I hope I do. Yeah. So. All right. Well, that's about it. Hopefully we recorded enough. Hopefully I don't need to chop out too much. I know there's certainly some parts I'm going to have to, but yeah. So prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Uh if you made it this far, thank you, thank you. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I don't really have a compelling case to tell you why to. I mean, this we got some areas to improve in. But we're here. It's happening. But yeah. This has been episode 18 of the Under the Chin podcast. Hopefully 19 will be much better. And hopefully 20 will be even better than that. But yeah, we got some stuff to figure out. Hopefully we will. And love you guys. And we'll see you next week. Woo!